Good morning, everyone. Hello, hello, and welcome to the PreStream podcast, episode 6 for December 5th, 2021. It's Sunday. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first of many new layouts for the PreStream podcast. As you know, I made the choice about a week ago. I said, hey, the PreStream, every single day, is pretty much a podcast, right? I talk a lot about various different topics. We cover a lot of stuff on the podcast. Well, as like a podcast, and it's a good way to get topics out of the way before we get into gameplay every day. I talk about my gaming schedule. I talk about the status of the channel and news about me. I talk about gaming news in general. We do shout outs. We have fun conversation, right? So because of that, it's a fun way to get stuff out of the way and then get into gameplay and not have a bunch of lingering questions or topics that we didn't talk about, right? So I said, let's actually go ahead and do a formal podcast, all right? And it's been about a week now that I've been doing this, and it's been pretty successful. People seem to like the format that I now have named it an official podcast. We have a running playlist for it, and they like the fact that the face cam's on, which I've had on for about a month. So, with this going on, someone submitted a bunch of, I say someone, there's basically 2 or 3 people who submitted a lot of art in the last month, all right? And FYI, if they ever wanted credit, I would absolutely give them a large shout out. However, due to the fact that I do have a large group of shitheads on the internet who basically try to stalk and harass people who do anything and any kind of positive interaction with me, I feel they're a little bit apprehensive about getting their name out there. But if they ever wanted to get a shout out, I'd be willing to do that for sure. They just have to let me know. But anyway, this person who has been working on artwork and various things for me over the last month and a half actually said, I'm going to whip together a bunch of PreStream podcast templates for you so that you will have a various amount of stuff to do. So just to give you guys some example, all right, I'm going to show you all of them right now back to back. There's 7 different ones, although a lot of them are very similar, all right? So this one we're going with today. Then we got this one. Oh, crap. Oh, that didn't... Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I see what's going on. Hold on a second here. Okay, hold on. I know how to do this. Because they don't all overlap. Okay, so we got this one right now. Okay. Then we've got this one. Okay. Then we've got this one. If you take a look, the character's changed in the top corner. See that? See, it's a different style. It went from like 8-bit to like 16-bit. See that? Then we got this one. Then we got this one, where it changes the logo to be more of an 8-bit logo rather than like a spray paint logo. Then we've got this one. And then we've got this one, which also is the same 16-bit characters with like an 8-bit logo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to variate. Basically, every day I'm going to kind of go through one of those. So one day you may have the one with Mega Man and Ryu. One day you may have the one that's just it looks like a wall or whatever. And we'll alternate between them. All right? And I'm sure over time, more people might design more. Or this particular person who made these for us may design more. And we'll add more to the rotation. Okay? So, awesome. It's always awesome to have new stuff on the streams. It spruces things up. It makes it feel fresh. For example, I have a new channel logo now. Right? Profile picture and logo. And a new watermark. I actually saw the watermark for the first time this morning. I was like, wow, that looks really nice on there. I knew it had updated. I just had not seen it in action. And then I opened up the page here on my laptop. And I was looking at it. I was like, wow, that DSPGaming logo looks really spiffy. The way that it sticks out on the corner of the video now. So, I absolutely love having new artwork, having new logos and stuff. It makes everything feel fresh and new and interesting. And by the way, interactive. It's a great way if you're someone who has any kind of graphical design talent and you want to kind of showcase that. You know, a lot of people feel proud to get their stuff on a stream that a lot of people watch. And, you know, hundreds of people watch my stream every day, right? Actually, overall, thousands if you consider the people who watch the videos on demand. A lot of people watch this stuff. So, I'm very pleased. Thank you to the person who whipped this up for us. And every day we'll have a new one. And maybe even more moving forward. You know, like I said, since I have 7 of them, I can alternate. Every week we could go through like 5, 6 of them. It'll be pretty cool, right? So, the PreStream podcast for today. We got some interesting stuff to talk about today. In particular, I feel like we should go right into the discussion of one of these topics. Fighting games and the status of my Street Fighter streams. Okay? First of all, I get this question all the time. I would like to formally answer it in detail for all of you today. Once a week, I play fighting games. I play old school Street Fighter. The game that I play is the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection on the PlayStation 5. It's actually a PlayStation 4 game that is compatible on PS5, so I play it on PS5, okay? It's not a great collection, admittedly. It has issues. It's basically an emulator suite, and what that means is you're running ROMs of the arcade games in an emulator, which means that there's flaws. Sometimes the games run at the wrong speed, okay? The netcode of the game leaves something to be desired. A lot of the times there's a ton of dropped inputs. Sometimes the game skips entire frames of animation, so now you can't see exactly what's going on in the game. The game also has rollback netcode, so if you're in a bad matchup, all of a sudden you'll see a move connect. The game will take it back, and you're like, you took back my combo. How am I supposed to play this competitively when I don't even know what's working and what's not, right? So the game is flawed, but the reason I play it every week, okay, is because when I play this game, it gives me the feeling of nostalgia like I'm back in arcades back in the 1990s. When I was growing up as a teenager in the 90s, I went to arcades every Friday and Saturday night. And I spent, several hours there playing fighting games, all the different iterations of every fighting game. This collection has 4 games that I actually played in arcades. Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, and Street Fighter Alpha 3. I played all of those in my local arcades competitively with local competition, and then as I got older, I started traveling and playing those games competitively in tournaments. So when I play Street Fighter on a Friday night, it actually gives me a feeling of like, wow, this is a throwback to when I was a kid and I was going to arcades and hanging out with my friends and playing these games competitively. I like getting that feeling of nostalgia. And I also like the fact that I've played these games for so long that even if the game doesn't run very well, I can usually do some competitive gameplay with them and hang. I usually get some win streaks, and have a good time with it, okay? Now, one of the questions that I always get, Phil, what do you use to play the games? Are you using a D-pad or using a joystick? If you use a stick, what's the joystick? I've answered the question a million times, yet everyone keeps asking the question. So I figured today on the PreStream podcast, we go a little bit into detail about my experience with this game and what I do to play it. So I don't use a D-pad to play. I mean, not to say that there might be anything wrong with that. I don't know because I never really attempted it. I use a joystick, and I'm going to show you. This is my joystick that I used to play Street Fighter, okay? This is the Hori Real Arcade Pro 4, okay? This joystick came out in 2015. Very reflective. You see outside, look, you see the street. Very reflective top, okay? This joystick came out in early 2015. So it's a 6-year-old joystick. Actually, almost 7-year-old joystick when you think about it. It is made by Hori, the same company that made this. My neck phones, okay? The same company that made the gamepad attachments for my Switch that I use, okay? Same company that made a ton of stuff that I use. I really like Hori. I think it's a great console maker. I do, okay? Now, this joystick, when I bought it in 2015, was almost $200, okay? I think at the time it was like either 170, 180, something like that. It was a brand new model. The reason that they had made this stick was to tie in with the release of the Street Fighter V beta, which was scheduled to come out in the summer of 2015, okay? So they timed the release of this model to be with the Street Fighter V beta, thinking it would sell a ton, okay? It works with both PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, and I'm happy to announce, yes, after testing it for almost a year now, it works with PlayStation 5 as well. It works with all Sony consoles out of the box. You don't need any additional peripherals or anything like that. It actually works. There's a switch right on it that says, do you want to play in PS3 or PS4 mode? And PS4 works, on PS5, okay? It has some good features. Like, for example, I believe it has a turbo button. If you wanted to use a turbo feature on any of the buttons, you can make it so that it'll just rapidly press the button for you, so you don't have to rapidly tap it. Of course, I feel that's cheating. I've never used the turbo feature on any controller in fighting games, because I do feel like that's cheating, but a lot of people actually use that. It's actually got this feature that I don't know why I would ever use it, but I guess it could change this joystick from being, like, I don't know if it's like 8 to 16 or 4 to 8. Basically, it changes it from being a different, like a D-pad to a joystick input or something like that. I've never used it. It's got nice padding on the bottom. See that? These are pads. These are actually foam pads. So if you're going to put it on your lap, on your knees, it doesn't dig into your knees, and it doesn't make your knees smell like metal. That's actually something that's always been a problem with the joysticks that have a metal bottom, is that if you sit it on your lap, you now smell like metal all day. They solved that problem with these foam pads on the bottom. And by the way, I've owned this joystick for 6 years. They never wore out. See that? It's pretty durable. This is truthfully, ladies and gentlemen, this joystick, I have used this joystick longer than any joystick ever in the history of me playing fighting games. Now, to give an addendum to that, I don't play fighting games competitively anymore. I used to go to tournaments and sit there for hours on end using joysticks like this competitively and beat the shit out of them. I used to travel with them and get them in backpacks and luggage and get them tossed around and bashed about. So maybe if I was still a competitive Street Fighter player, this joystick would not have lasted 6 years. But it did for me because I only play fighting games, once a week. And then when the new one comes out, I'll play it for like a few weeks to a month until I get tired of it and I stop playing it, right? I gotta sneeze. Oh, I felt that one coming, and now I'm probably going to have to blow my nose because every time I sneeze, my nose turns on like a faucet because I have postnasal drip. So I apologize for that. All right, so you may be wondering, number one, why am I talking about this joystick right here? Because people always ask me. They literally always say, Phil, what do you do to play out fighting games? This is the answer. I bought this for the beta of Street Fighter V in 2015. Of course, if everyone remembers, the beta of Street Fighter V didn't work. It was a huge flop. It failed. The netcode was terrible, and almost no one could play it. So the whole thing was basically canceled. Then they redid it 2 months later, and it still barely worked. Then, when the game finally came out, okay, Street Fighter V in 2016? Again, at launch, it barely worked. I think it was February or March of 2016. The game barely worked at launch. You couldn't play it. So I bought this joystick with the full intention that I was going to play the shit out of Street Fighter V, and I was going to play the crap out with this joystick, and I, barely used it for Street Fighter V. I ended up using this joystick way more for other fighting games, like Tekken 7, the Mortal Kombats over the years, as well as, obviously, the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection that I play every week. That's the primary use I got out of this joystick, while Street Fighter V, I've barely ever played it because the game sucks, okay? So, thank you, Team Terrorhawk. It's a dope podcast overlay. I'm glad to hear you like it. So, that's my joystick. Now, a major reason I'm bringing this up this morning is because, ladies and gentlemen, this very joystick is on sale right now on Amazon for $130. I saw a post about it on Twitter this morning, and I was like, wow, compared to what I paid years and years ago, that's a really good price. I think now the normal standard selling price is like $160. So even getting this for $130, it's still $20 to $30 off. It's a great price. You might want to go check it out on Amazon right now. Now, over the years, they've sold different colors. They actually sold a blue, a red, and a white. Sadly, those are gone. Those have been sold out for the longest time, but the black is still available. If you're looking for a joystick to play fighting games on and you're going to play on a PlayStation console, I strongly recommend the Hori Real Arcade Pro 4. It's a great joystick, okay? And now they call it Real Arcade Pro 4 Kai. I don't know what the Kai stands for. I don't know if they changed anything or upgraded anything to it, but hey, man, like I said, I've had this since mid-2015, and I still have it. I'm using it, and it's not broken or nothing. I mean, that's a durable-ass joystick, right? So give it a look, okay? So there's your answer. There's your thorough explanation and answer to that question, and I hope that someone got something out of that because people ask me that all the time. Now, in regards to the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, which I play every single Friday, okay? We had an interesting discussion yesterday morning about subscription-based services. I had realized that I had allowed my Nintendo Online membership to lapse. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, should I really provide Nintendo with a new payment method to renew this thing when I'm not using any of the games? Like, I'm not using any NES or Super NES games on demand via the service, and I'm not playing any games online, right? So, why on earth would I pay Nintendo to renew that membership when I have no use for it right now? And I said, I've determined I'm not going to. I'm going to wait. We're going to wait till there's a reason for me to re-up that membership, and then I will, okay? Now, I was thinking about all of this, and I was like, now, wait a minute. What other memberships do I have? Well, I actually have the PlayStation Network membership / PS Plus. That's what they call it, right? PS Plus. And formally, PlayStation was my go-to console last console gen. It was the console that I played everything on. All my multiplayer games were on there, so I always it was a no-brainer. Keep the PlayStation Plus membership going no matter what. But I just realized as I'm thinking about this, I wonder when my PlayStation membership expires, right? I don't know. I have to look into that. I actually have no idea when that auto renews, okay? And I was thinking about it. I'm like, wait a minute. Right now, what am I getting out of PlayStation Plus? Well, let's see. I'm not taking advantage of any of the PS Plus games every month. I never play them. They go unplayed. Oh, every time. I never touch them. By the way, we're going to talk a little bit about that because there is a PS Plus game this month, Godfall, that I was interested in, and now not so much, and I'm going to tell you why, because it's actually a huge joke. Wait till you hear this shit. You're going to get a good laugh out of this one. We'll talk about that later on the show. Anyway, most of the time, when games are on PS Plus for free, it's a game I've already played. 9 times out of 10, it's games if I had interest in it, I've already played it as a new release, so I don't get any benefit out of having the PS Plus membership that way. And if you look at the games right now that are out, I'm playing all multiplayer games right now on Xbox, right? Right now, Halo Infinite is the big first-person shooter, and it's on Xbox, playing it on Xbox Series X, right? Outside of that, what other multiplayer games am I playing? See? And what multiplayer games will I be playing shortly? The only game that's a consideration is Street Fighter. I play Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection every Friday night on PlayStation Network, okay? So, we started talking a little bit about this yesterday morning. Gee, what would happen if maybe I stopped playing it on PlayStation? Could I migrate over to the Xbox? Now, if I were to do that, there'd be some critical changes that would happen, some positive and some negative. First of all, to play the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection on Xbox instead of PlayStation, I have to buy it again. And I was curious, I wonder, how much does it cost, right? So I looked into it this morning. $30. What? $30. This game has been out since May of 2018. The game is bad. Everyone collectively agrees it's not a good collection. The netcode is terrible, and the game is featureless. You don't even have the ability in this game to kick someone from a lobby or ban them from joining your lobby again if they're trolling. It's impossible, okay? So why the fuck would it still be $30? That's insane. It's stupidity, right? Doesn't make any sense. I gotta blow my nose, like I said, because I sneezed. Hold on. If I don't blow my nose, I'm gonna end up sneezing again. Yuck. Ugh. Oh, my nose. Hold on. Okay, that feels better. By the way, that wasn't me. That was a zombie. I had to stomp a zombie. There was a holiday zombie walked into my window. He had a Christmas hat on, so I stomped his face into paste, and he was screaming when I did it. That's what that noise was. Okay, so $30 for the Street Fighter, 30th Anniversary Collection. What the fuck? Why is it so expensive, right? For a game that literally has no market. No one's actively buying this game. How is this game not dropped in price to the point where it's more discounted? Right? Doesn't make any sense. So what would be the benefits and the detriments of playing this on Xbox rather than on PlayStation Network? Well, let's be honest here. If you take a look at the future of PlayStation, am I going to be playing games on my PS5? Yes. Horizon Forbidden West, the new God of War, right? There will be good exclusives that I'm going to be playing on PlayStation 5. Are any of them online? No. They're all single-player experiences. Those are the games that are going to be on PS5 as exclusives. I was thinking about it. I was like, can you think of a single PS5 exclusive that's going to have a multiplayer component that I need PS Plus for? No one could think of one, right? I can't think of one. So, if I were to switch over Street Fighter from PlayStation to Xbox, literally everything I want to play online would be on Xbox, and I wouldn't need the PS Plus membership anymore. Okay? Just being honest. Now, benefits versus detriments. Benefits. One thing that happens every single week when I play Street Fighter on Fridays is that there has become a group of trolls who bought the game because they're losers, and they troll me in the game. Now, as I just mentioned, this game has literally no moderation options. Anyone can join any lobby and just sit there and not play. People can join the lobby and glitch the game so no one can play in the lobby and the whole lobby's worthless. People have found ways to fuck this game over because it's poorly made. It really is a poorly made collection, which is hilarious to me. Because the thing is about this game, all right, came out 3.5 years ago by a company called Digital Eclipse, okay? Digital Eclipse is a company that has made many different collections over the years. In fact, people have said they just made that Disney collection of games. They've moved on from this game and made many other games afterward, okay? And recently, in the last year, there was a major movement online, and the movement was, hey, bring back Marvel vs. Capcom 2. We love Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and there has not been a version of this game purchasable for a modern console in like 10 years. What's going on? We want to play it. Bring it back. And people were campaigning for this, and Digital Eclipse spoke up and said, yeah, well, we know that there's demand, and we'll talk to Capcom, and we'll see what we can do. Wait a minute. Digital Eclipse? Why would I want a company that made such a poor collection in the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection to be making this game? The netcode is terrible. They put in no actual options you would want when playing the game online. They didn't care. They literally just crushed together an emulator suite and tossed it out there and said, oh, okay, we made a game, go buy it. And everyone was like, what the fuck? Like, why? It doesn't even have normal features for a fighting game. So for me, it doesn't seem to make sense because it's like, people are campaigning for a game to come out by a game company that literally makes crap collections, acting like it's going to be something good. It's not. It's going to be a crap collection like anything else. If you really re-release MVC 1 and 2 as a collection and Digital Eclipse makes it, it's going to suck. It's just going to suck. And you got to accept that, all right? But anyway, that being said, these trolls follow me around every single Friday night. They follow me to every lobby, and they try to fill any lobby that I'm in the game so that I can't play the game. Now, you may say, well, then why don't you just do ranked or player matches? Because the game doesn't work anymore. People don't do those. If you search for ranked or player matches, you sit there endlessly and find nobody. Because no one uses those features. The only way to find players in these games anymore is the lobby system. That's it. And the lobby system, you can't invite players. You can't ban players or kick players. So as soon as those trolls know I'm online, they try to follow me and go into every lobby I'm in and ruin the experience for me. Okay? So, that being said, is there a possible benefit to moving from PlayStation to Xbox? Because possibly, there's a situation where these trolls won't follow me this time. Right? Yes. Yes. There's a possibility where maybe I would ditch the trolls. There's also a possibility that these people are such fucking losers and messed up in the head that they would just go buy the Xbox version of the game anyway and do the same thing. Right? It's very possible. Keep in mind, these are people who weekly, every Friday night, for 2.5 years, have stalked me in these games. They literally have nothing else to do in their lives on a Friday night but stalk Darkside Phil in the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. For 2.5 years. This wasn't like, oh, I did it for a few months. This has been ongoing for years. And these idiots still haven't grown out of it. They have no maturity level in their head. They're some fucking little infants who think that this shit is funny, right? So, no, I would not put it past them that they would actually go out of their way and buy the Xbox version to try to continue that kind of behavior. Okay? Okay. Now, perhaps if I play it on Xbox, I'll get new competition, which would actually be a good thing. Because I've been playing the same people in this game on PlayStation for like 2-3 years. Not to say that that's a bad thing, because some of these players are quite good on PlayStation. The problem is, I've noticed, the connections suck. It's hard to get a good match. You're playing a good player, and you can't play competitively because on both sides, you can tell, inputs are dropping. The game is rolling back with the shit-ass netcode. And you're like, oh, fuck, man. I just want to have a good match. I can't even get one, in this game. So, maybe that would change. on Xbox. Maybe you'd have better connections, better players. On the flip side of that, it could be completely the opposite experience. It could end up being there's less players, the connections are worse, right? Now, there's another factor to all of this, okay? There's another factor to all of this. This is the factor, okay? This is the Xbox Series X Gamepad. Personally, I love this controller. I've been using it for several months, ever since I got my Xbox Series X. I like this controller better than the DualSense on the PS5. The form factor is nicer in my hands. It's a lighter controller. The battery is not heavy like the internal battery of the DualSense, so it has less heft to it, and it feels more natural in my hands because it's not as heavy. In addition, the grip on the back of the controller, which you probably cannot see on this webcam, is very good. When you're grabbing and holding and playing games on this controller, you always feel like you have a secure grip on your controller. On that DualSense, the grip is like negligible. It's just slippery. It ends up being slippery after a few hours of playing. You don't even really feel the grip anymore. The buttons themselves on the front seem the same to me. Like, they seem the same kind of buttons on both controllers, so that's like not a factor. I like the thumbstick placement on this controller better than the thumbsticks that are kind of side by side on the PlayStation controller. Okay? But the one determining factor here would be the D-pad. This D-pad is a completely redesigned D-pad. Never before, all right, has a console had a standard D-pad that was like this one. All right, there were Elite controllers that I've seen that had this kind of repressed D-pad, but I've never seen this D-pad on just a standard default controller before. Okay? And by the way, I apologize for the snorting. I told you my post-nasal drip was going to kick into overdrive, and now it has because I sneezed. So, I don't know how well this D-pad will control for fighting games, because I haven't played a fighting game on my Xbox console to test it, and I don't even know what one I would want to, because I really don't want to drop money on a game I'm not going to play, you see? So, in regards to the Street Fighter 38th Anniversary Collection on Xbox, I could maybe get it and play it and be like, wow, this D-pad is great, it's responsive, I'm getting all my Shoryukens, I'm getting 360s with Zangief and T-Hawk, and everything is good, and I got no problems, this is great. Or I could get it and be like, wow, I literally can't do half of my moves, and this was a complete waste of time. And I'll give you some perspective here. That is exactly what happened with this controller over here. This one. This is the incredibly overpriced Switch Pro controller. This controller, at the time of the release of the Switch, by the way, my hair's sticking up again. You see this? What the frick? I don't know what's going on with my hair. Just ignore it. It looks stupid. At the time of the release of the Nintendo Switch, okay, this was the only wireless controller available for the console at the time, or else you had to use the shitty-ass Joy-Cons, which everyone fucking hates. Everyone hated them at launch. Everyone hates them now. Everyone knows the Joy-Cons suck shit. They fucking are terrible controllers, and they have Joy-Con drift, which means that they don't even work properly anyway. They're trash, okay? So, everyone scrambling to buy something else to play their Switch with, this controller was, no exaggeration, $70. $70 at the launch of the Switch. To which you would think, oh, well, that means it's probably going to be good. I mean, take a look. Form factor wise, it's actually the same as the Series X controller, if not even a little bit smaller, right? The thumbsticks are the same. The face buttons are the same. The D-pad. Oh, shit. Because this was the one factor, guys. Guess what's terrible on the Switch Pro controller? This fucking D-pad is a piece of donkey shit. It's garbage. It's broken. It's not just, oh, it's kind of wonky. It's actually broken. You'll press right, and it'll go up. You'll press down, and it'll go left. It's a piece of shit. I played Ultra Street Fighter 2 on my Switch. I couldn't play it on this controller because the D-pad doesn't work at all. It's actually faulty. I don't know why people didn't come together and sue Nintendo about it. Because just like Joy-Con drift, which is a real problem that Nintendo has now publicly acknowledged, this D-pad also is faulty. And everyone agreed at launch, this D-pad is a piece of dog shit. Okay? Anyone who tried to use this D-pad for anything but, oh, I'm playing a game and it's an inventory selection, press right or whatever. Anyone who tried to use it for anything complex, it's garbage. Okay? So, when this has happened to me already, once I got burned like this for Street Fighter, it definitely makes me apprehensive about this controller and using it for Street Fighter, although admittedly, this is a completely different kind of D-pad, right? It's totally different. So I don't know if it would be good or not. And again, I have no way to test it without buying a game to test it, you see? So, let's weigh the pros and cons, all right? The pros of getting Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection on Xbox and dropping it on the PS5. Number one, I don't need PS Plus anymore. Whenever it's supposed to auto-renew, I could tell them, take it off auto-renew. I'm not using it, okay? So that's a savings of money right there. Number two, possibility of refreshed gameplay and opponents. Instead of playing the same people who I've been playing on the PlayStation 5 for 3+ years, maybe there's a whole new group of players who I could face off against on the Xbox. It's a possibility. Number three, there's the possibility that maybe the trolls would be defeated and I would not have to face the same assholes trying to ruin my weekly late night sessions of Street Fighter every Friday night because I'm on a different console now. Okay? Those are some pretty interesting possible positives. Oh, by the way, if I buy it on Xbox, it's starting over, so basically it would be like anything that I do online, I could get more achievements and stuff, right? Because I already unlocked most of the trophies on PlayStation. Now I could get some of those on Xbox, right? It's like starting a new game over, okay? But let's talk about the detriments, the negatives. Number one, it's fucking $30. Why is it so expensive? 3.5 years after release, they're acting like it's still a full-fledged game. It's not. It never was a full-fledged game. It doesn't even have the features of a full-fledged fighting game online, so why would you charge that price, right? So number one, that's just I feel like that's the biggest detriment. I'd have to drop $30 for this fucking thing. Number two, it could be the opposite of what I've suspected. Maybe there'll be no one playing it. I buy this collection, I go online, I can't find anyone to play against because no one plays it anymore. Or maybe even worse connections and worse situations than what I already have on PlayStation 5. Number three, the trolls might follow me over and try to ruin it anyway. They're that much of losers that I wouldn't put it past them. If they wasted 2.5, 3 years of their life every Friday night trolling me in this game, what's to stop them from dropping $30 to follow me to another console and do the same thing, right? They could always ask their mommy for her credit card so they could just fucking pay for it, because certainly they don't have jobs or anything to do it themselves. And then, of course, the biggest determining factor of all of this, what if I buy it and then I can't even play it because this D-pad isn't good for fighting games? So now I bought a new version of the game and it's like unplayable, right? It ends up being another Ultra Street Fighter 2 situation. So, that's a lot of factors, right? That's a lot of things to factor in. That's a lot of things to consider when it comes to this. So I am considering it. I'm actually considering, by the way, I'm trying to lower my mic so you can see more of me. I'm actually considering the possibility of getting it on Xbox. And what I would like is your input on this. What do you guys think? And I'll be honest with you, okay? I'm out of credits. For a while there, I had a good amount of credits both on Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, and even Nintendo Online. I had credits that I was using to buy games and stuff, and it was about 3 months there that, they were helping me tremendously. They're gone. I've now kind of, expanded, or not expanded, but used all of those on games and purchases and things. It's all gone now. So I would have to drop actual $30 out of my pocket. It's not like, oh, Phil, but you have all these credits saved up. Why don't you just buy it and try it? I don't have any more credits saved up. So it would actually be money out of my pocket unless someone, donated Xbox Live credits this week or something and said, hey, try it. It's money out of my pocket. It's money that could be going to other games that you guys want to see. You guys have outright told me, Phil, we want to see the new Pokemon. Phil, We want to see you try this game, that game that you skipped in the last few months. And that's the money could be going towards those games rather than rebuying Street Fighter, you see? So I'm curious what I should do, and I would like your feedback. Darzyx says, have you tried your arcade gamepad on the Xbox? Do you mean the joystick? Doesn't work. The joystick's only for PlayStation. It would not work on an Xbox console. Yeah, it doesn't work. So, Team Terrorhawk says Game Pass is a good place to test it out. But yeah, but what on Game Pass? What would I test on it? Like, what games are on Game Pass that I would test this D-pad on? You see what I'm saying? Like, there's no Street Fighter on Game Pass that I could test that on, right? To my knowledge. So, if you're, play Tekken or whatever, that's different. It's completely different. Those games have different inputs. I have to test it on, like, a Street Fighter game. Anyway. That being said, it's a consideration. It's something we'll talk about over the course of this coming week. Let's see what we think over the course of this week. Let's talk about it maybe every day. I'm sure people will be asking me about it on stream. Are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do that? Are you gonna keep it on PlayStation? Are you gonna switch to Xbox? What are you gonna do? We'll think about it, all right? And let's make a determination by the end of the week. If you're interested in possibly donating some credits to maybe make this happen and test it, you could do that. You can email me at darksidefil@hotmail.com, and you can give me a code, an Xbox Live code for credits for Xbox Live, and that way negate the $30 entry window here. That would definitely help. Okay. Okay. I have Power Rangers to test out the D-pad, but Power Rangers is a Street Fighter. Power Rangers is a very different kind of game. Okay. Alright, so that was like a half an hour segment about fighting games, right? I felt like I would talk about that. I felt like that was something interesting to discuss. Today, on stream, we're continuing on with Metroid Dread. This is the third session of Metroid Dread. I'm very pleased to tell you guys that the first two sessions went very well. You guys showed up, attended, and supported the first two sessions of Metroid Dread in a huge way. Okay? Thank you for that. Let's keep that momentum going, because as I've told you, this is building up confidence in me that in the future I can play Metroidvania games and people will actually show up and support them. Because this has literally never happened until Metroid Dread. This is the first Metroidvania game in entire time, 13 years, that I've been a content creator, that people are supporting. I guess you guys really wanted to see Metroid Dread, which I'm happy about because I really like the game. I'm having a great time with it. The bosses are kicking my ass, that's for sure. But outside of that, it really feels like a classic Metroid game for a modern era. And I'm really enjoying the game, the visuals, the gameplay. It's basically everything that you're expecting from Metroid Dread, from any mainstream Metroid game, right, is in there. Plus, there's the added, the added aspect of these stalking Emmys that act like the nemesis and figuring out how to kill them and stuff. So it's pretty interesting. Okay, I'm having a great time with it. Again, guys, I hope you guys will continue to support the Metroid Dread streams today. This is the third stream. It's another test. I said last time when I played it Friday, I said, this is the second stream. This is really the telling stream. Because typically, after the first stream of any Metroidvania game, interest drops off. Right? But then interest continued on Friday, which was great. For good attendance and good support. Today's the third session. Today, if all of a sudden viewership and support drops off, now we know, you see? And that's what I'm wondering is there going to be a point where people are like, all right, well, we've seen enough. Apparently I'm nearing the end of the game. I'm being told I'm more than halfway through. I haven't necessarily reached the final third of the game yet. I probably will today. So I feel like the game is going to need 2 more streams. Today we'll probably get close to the end of the game, and then we'll definitely wrap it up on Tuesday, okay? So let's see what happens today with Metroid Dread. I'm feeling positive about it. I'm really enjoying the game. I can't wait for more. I just hope that people will actually show up, attend, and support the game. I can already tell you, there's less people on PreStream today than the last 2 times I played Metroid Dread. There is. So I'm curious, is there a big fall off? Will there be a big, ooh, right down the cliff because it's the third session? All right, we've seen enough. Let's see today, okay? And again, by the way, if the playthrough ends up being successful overall, I'm totally open to playing other Metroidvania games. I guess the question would be, what do you want to see now? We've had so many over there. Personally, for me, one that I actually want to play is Ori and the Blind Forest. Because it had a sequel that was successful. It's a franchise now. And that was a game that I tried to play back in the day. I own it digitally. I can play it right now on Xbox. And everyone hated on it. Oh, it's boring. Oh, it sucks. I was like, wow, how disappointing. Because the game visually looks great. And I was having a good time with the few hours I played it. And everyone just sat on the stream being negative, crapping all over the game. I was like, wow, what a shit reaction to a game like this. Now, that was many years ago. Perhaps, just like with Metroid Dread, perhaps things have changed, okay? People are making suggestions right now in stream chat. Hollow Knight. I own Hollow Knight. I bought it for Halloween, last year? And I played it for a bit, and I liked it. Never went back to it, because, again, Metroidvania. Symphony of the Night. That's Castlevania Symphony of the Night. That's a game that I played way back when on Xbox Live. That was when I first got my Xbox 360. They put it on as an Xbox Live arcade game. And I played through the first half of it until the castle flips. And when the castle flipped, I was like, fuck this. I'm not playing any more of this. You know, I had way less of an attention span and way less patience back then than I do today. And I was like, dude, I'm not doing this. I don't want to go through the whole castle upside down. It's so frustrating. Fuck this game. But maybe I would actually play through it today. You know what I mean? Like, there's all these possibilities that kind of open up when there's a whole new genre of games that's now available. Look, here's even more. People are saying Dead Cells, Salt and Sanctuary. People are literally Dust and Elysian Tale, Ghost Runner. My God, you guys are suggesting like 10 games. Now, do you see my point? When a whole genre of games is shut off to you, despite the fact that I like that genre, it's very disheartening. All these games have come out over the years, and I was like, every time one comes out, I'm like, I can't play it. Every time I try, and I've tried. Not that I haven't tried. Every once in a while, I'll play a Castlevania, I'll try a Metroid, I'll play a game, like I said, like Hollow Knight, or, I think I played Dead Cells too, didn't I? I think I played Dead Cells, as well as others. You know, I've tried these over the years. Sometimes I forcefully played one like Child of Light, and all I got were complaints the whole playthrough. Why are you wasting our time with this game? And every time I played it, I had very few viewers, and everyone complained constantly. So, you see what I mean? Now, that's cool, because that says to me, listen, your horizons have been opened. 2022 could be a year where maybe you explore Metroidvania games you've never played before. 2 thumbs up from me, but again, what I need is your buy-in. I need you guys to support these games. So today's another telling day for Metroid Dread. If people show up, attend, and support the playthrough, great. The future is wide and positive, right? So let's see what happens today, okay? Cool. By the way, shout out to DC, who has come in here and says he has a podcast opinion haiku. Personally, I am not a fan of podcasts. Do you like podcasts? Personally, I enjoy doing podcasts with my audience here. On the fly haiku. Yeah! How you like that? And a completely on the fly haiku that I just made up. Very nice. All right. So continuing on. Metroid Dread, I hope it goes well today. Later tonight, the late stream is Lost Judgment. Lost Judgment is now into the end game. We absolutely are. We're in chapter 11 of 13, okay? We are in the midst of the end game side content. And what I mean by that is if we just played the story, oh God, this animation, I love it. If we just played the story, we could finish the game in like 2 streams. Seriously. Because the game is just nonstop story the last couple of chapters. But this is essentially my last opportunity to do the side content of the game. We still have several school story mysteries to solve and complete. Maybe a few odds and ends open world like side missions in the world to check out as well. Okay? And then we got the conclusion of the story. So what I want to do for the next several streams of Lost Judgment is focus on the school missions and see how many we can beat as quickly as possible. Tonight, I feel if we focus on the bike club missions, we could finish the whole fucking thing. Let's just finish the whole bike club tonight. Get it done. As ridiculous and over the top as the missions are, it should be entertaining and fun. I know it's going to be grinding with the gameplay because I was watching my wife do most of it, and it wasn't very fun to play, but hopefully we'll have a good interactive time tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. If we beat the bike club, we can go into other things, like maybe finish the dance club, because we're at the final stage of that as well. Okay? I agree that animation's beautiful. Okay. So that's tonight. Tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, oh, another $10 tip. Thank you guys. You guys really like this Jingle All the Way animation, don't you? Boosh. Arnold Schwarzenphil. Phil Schwarzenbernell. Oh, God. All right, let's stop with that. Tomorrow is my first ever major session of Grand Theft Auto Vice City Definitive Edition. I started playing this game yesterday for about 90 minutes. I was blown away by how it looked because, my God, the game looks so different with these modernized graphics. It just looks like you're playing a different game. It doesn't even look like the same game. Unlike San Andreas, San Andreas already on the PlayStation 2 had pretty decent graphics. It wasn't the best, but also wasn't like insanely outdated. When you play San Andreas on PS2, it kind of at least looks half like a modernized game. Vice City does not. Vice City was very, very old school, rough around the edges visuals, but this version looks so much different. And on top of that, having the 80s music in the game that I left in, already in 90 minutes, I was already grooving to 2 or 3 songs. And I was like, dude, I can't wait to hear like the next 40. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's going to be such a great playthrough because of that. So I'm looking forward to this very much. I hope you guys will join me tomorrow for the first major stream. 3+ hours of Vice City. Okay? Tomorrow night is Monday night, and Monday night we're doing Halo Infinite. Now, I do have something important to say. Okay? Something very important to say about Halo Infinite. So listen up, everyone. If you're interested in Halo Infinite, you're wondering what's going on with Halo Infinite, I have something very important to cover right now. I'm having a lot of fun with Halo Infinite multiplayer. Actually, I've been playing it about twice a week, and I've actually been doing a lot of great gameplay. I'm kicking ass. I'm getting kill streaks. I'm learning how to use the new weapons. I'm usually at the top of the leaderboard. Just a few exceptions where I suck ass. That happens to everyone. But I've actually been doing pretty good. I would compare this to last year when I was playing Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. It was kind of the same thing. I was doing well. I was doing really good performance. People like to see me play it once or twice a week. It was an ongoing thing that people enjoy, right? Attendance on the Halo Infinite streams has been good. I'm getting like 300 viewers on a late night stream. That's rare that I would even get that much for a late night stream, okay? But support has been bad. Just being straight up honest with you. Support's been bad. I'm playing for an hour to an hour and a half. Excuse me. I'm playing for an hour to an hour and a half. I'm looking, I got like $11 on the stream. Wow. What the hell happened, right? Now, I'm not saying this happened once, because if it was once, listen, there's always a bad night, there's always a slow night, there's nothing you can do about that. That's just the nature of the beast, right? You can't have an insanely overly positive contributions night every single night. You're going to have slow nights. This has literally happened like 3 Halo Infinite streams in a row. It's disheartening. And really, the only way that I've salvaged these streams is I'll tweet. I'll put out a tweet and say, hey guys, we're having fun with Halo Infinite, but for some odd reason, there's no support tonight. Then usually what happens is someone comes on and says, all right, I'll help you, and they'll toss me like a tip. Like last night, someone gave me a $50 tip. Okay? Now, that's all well and good. I'm very grateful for that. But the point I'm making is the game doesn't seem to be hanging for itself. It seems like I have to go out of my way to ask for support for the Halo Infinite streams, which isn't good. You should think if the game is good, and if my gameplay of it is good, right? And if it's entertaining to watch, which I'm being told all the factors are there. The game is good. It's the best multiplayer game out right now. Your gameplay is good. You're getting better at the game. You're topping the leaderboard. You're getting cool kill streaks and good performance. We're liking that. And the attendance on the stream is good. If all those things are good, support should naturally come with it. And like I said, if it were 1 stream or 2 streams, it's been 3+ streams in a row that this has happened now. So I have to appeal to you guys and say, listen, if you guys like the Halo Infinite gameplay, I need help with it right now. Every time I play this game, for some reason, it seems to be a slow night. That's not good. I want to know that this is something that you guys want to see. When I played Black Ops Cold War last year, there was good support on most of those streams. Now, admittedly, after a while, and we're talking months of playing it, yeah, then people kind of got bored with it and said, can you do something else? Can you mix it up and, stop playing this game? But this is what, 3 weeks into the life of Halo Infinite, if that? It's not, it's not like the game's played out. It's the opposite. Everyone's still in this exploratory phase trying to learn the game, feel it out, okay? So, please, if you like Halo Infinite, come by the streams and support them. As much as I love this job, right? Gaming is my hobby. Gaming is something I've done my whole life. It's also my job. You see? It is. It's my hobby, but also I make a living doing this. If every time I play a particular game, the support is non-existent, that's telling me something. I need to do something else. And by the way, we're not in a situation where it's like, oh, if I drop Halo Infinite as a multiplayer game in the rotation, there's nothing else to do. It's quite the opposite. There's a ridiculous amount of things to do. Right now, just off the top of my head, I could do Condemned Criminal Origins. I could start the Pokemon playthrough, right? I could do a Game Pass night or two and pick a few Game Pass games. Just off the top of my head. I'm not even putting thought into it. And I'll tell you, there's all these things that I could do. Okay? So that being said, if you like Halo, please attend the Halo stream tomorrow night, Monday night, and please support it. I can't rely on sending out a tweet and one person tossing, a Hail Mary of support and saying, oh, now the stream was good because one big tip came in tonight. That's not how it works. As I've told you guys, when someone like me who's a streamer who relies on crowdfunding, it's about a large group of people giving a little. It's not about one or two people giving a lot. It's the complete opposite of that. Not to say that it's not appreciated when people come in and are generous and give a lot. That's crazy good. Thank you for that. But I can't rely on that, you see? So let's see what happens tomorrow night with Halo, and we'll go from there. Fair enough? And then on Tuesday will be the conclusion of Metroid Dread. If the game is as long as everyone's telling me, they're definitely concluding on Tuesday. And then Tuesday night will be more of the Lost Judgment side content push on the late stream. I'm off from streaming on Wednesday, which sadly this week is unfortunate, because for some odd reason, 343 Industries is releasing the Halo Infinite campaign on Wednesday. I don't know why. I can't even think of an actual justification for why they're doing it on a Wednesday. Like, no one does that. People either release stuff on a Tuesday or a Friday. Sometimes I've seen a Thursday. I've never seen a major release on a Wednesday, but they're dropping the campaign on Wednesday. I'm not here. I'll be back on Thursday. And when I come back on Thursday, I will play the Halo Infinite campaign for the very first time. We'll see if it's any good. All reports are that it's dramatically different from all previous Halo campaigns. They've added this open world concept with side missions, and it makes it completely feel like a different game from the ground up. Okay? So let's see. Together this coming Thursday. Okay? And then this week will be a balance. It's going to have some Forza Horizon 5 probably Thursday night. Then what I'll do is the main stream every day I'll alternate. It'll be between Vice City and the I almost said Grand Theft Auto. The Vice City and the Halo Infinite campaign as the main streams. Boop, 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 boop. And then the night streams will be Forza, Street Fighter. Don't know what format of Street Fighter. It could still be PlayStation 5, or I might try it on Xbox, depending on what happens this week. Okay? And then we'll alternate, Halo Infinite, Lost Judgment, Halo Infinite, Lost Judgment. We'll kind of do that deal for the rest of the streaming week. Sound good? So that's the week. And then once we start beating stuff in that rotation, then I would say, okay, now let's consider what's the next game, and we'll have many options. All right? Fair enough. Good news, we are at a record high number of members. 333 channel members and climbing. That's awesome. Thank you so much for your support so far in December. We've already risen up a bunch, and we're going. We're getting closer and closer to the monthly goal of 365. It's definitely doable this month. If we're going up a few every day, we could definitely do it by the end of December. All right, let's see. Every single member today that joins, we're hitting a new milestone on DSPGaming, which is outstanding. Okay, so thank you in advance for that. So that's that. By the way, as you can see, we got trolls here in the chat today, so I'm just gonna ban these fucking idiots. I'm just gonna get rid of them. I'm not even gonna read what they're saying. I'm just gonna ban them. They're morons. All right. One final thing I want to talk about, and then we're going to get into shout-outs, okay? The one real news story that I want to talk about today is that overnight, the Halo Infinite Reddit was shut down. Now, no one knows if it's permanent or temporary, but apparently the Halo Infinite Reddit was full of insane toxicity. And you might be saying, what was going on over there? Well, first of all, for like 2 or 3 weeks, everyone's just been whining and bitching and complaining about the Game Pass aspect and the Battle Pass aspect of Halo Infinite, saying that they don't like the progress, the way it works, this challenge system. They don't like that. If there's going to be progress or progression at all in Halo Infinite, it should be based on different factors that aren't just doing a random-ass challenge during a multiplayer map. So, because of all those complaints, the Halo Infinite dev team already changed the game once or twice to change the nature of the challenges, but apparently that did not stave off or cut off the negativity coming off of the Halo Infinite Reddit. People continued to crap all over the dev team in the game. Now, I guess the latest thing is people are like, why isn't the campaign already out? Why can't they just drop the campaign now? Why do we have to wait till Wednesday? This is ridiculous. Why, and then basically they're bitching and moaning about stuff that's just like stupid. And, listen, Reddit for me, let me give you my personal experience with Reddit. That's my personal experience with Reddit. I've never once gone on Reddit and seen anything productive or positive or useful. The only interaction I've ever had with anything on Reddit was negative. People telling me, Phil, are you aware that people are shitting all over you on Reddit? There's a whole giant system of threads there that's negative about you. No. I've never seen it. I don't care about it. And people just told me over the years it got worse and worse. And I'm like, so let me get this straight. Reddit is a place where people can literally create a system of posts that just crap on people, spread misinformation, rumors, slander, defamation, and there's nothing you can do about it, and no one actually takes care of it or moderates it. It just sits there like that. For years and years, this has happened, where anytime you go to Reddit, everything about me is some toxic cesspool of shit. Oh, then why on earth would I ever go to Reddit? It's hilarious to me because I hear people saying, oh, did you hear this content creator is doing a Reddit AMA? When will you do a big Reddit thread where you'll answer people's questions, Phil? All right? And I thought about it, and here was my answer. Never! Why the fuck would I ever use Reddit? It doesn't make any sense at all. I have my own channel here on YouTube where I can put out a Q&A video, a stream, a podcast. Why the fuck would I ever use Reddit? Why would I ever want to interject myself into a toxic community of whiny fucking babies who apparently are so nasty that they're harassing people, doxing people? Apparently this is what happened with the Halo Infinite Reddit. People got so butthurt about Halo Infinite, they started harassing and doxing the game developers on the site. So they shut the Reddit down, right? Oh, by the way, I'm not aware. I don't even know if there's any truth to this. Apparently my Reddit got shut down this year too. I've literally never seen it. All I've ever heard was negative things about Reddit and me. And apparently it got so toxic over there with people that someone finally took control of it and said, wow, this entire thing is nasty, and closed it. And it's gone now. I guess they just completely shut it down. And I don't know if anyone tried to reopen it or not, but from my knowledge, it's gone. They just said, fuck it. We, close this. It's so bad. So, I just don't, I don't understand what is the purpose of Reddit. Can anyone, I mean this now, seriously, if anyone can actually concretely explain to me what purpose does Reddit serve in society? What is the actual purpose of a place like that? Does it fill in a need or a gap or a hole, or you know what I mean? What exactly does it do? Because every time I've asked this over the years, no one can answer me. Everyone's like, oh, well, it does this. Like, yeah, but aren't there other things that you can do to do that's like better? Well, yeah. Oh, okay. So then why does Reddit exist? Because of fucking trolls. Because of drama, trolls, and shitheads who all congregated together to make it this toxic community, right? Here you go. Niche communities for people that replaced forums. They're great for certain hobbies and stuff. So you could have forums that are better, but everyone just goes to Reddit because that's the fun place to troll, right? Right? You can find tons of information on multiple subjects. Oh, you mean like Wikipedia? You mean like, other places you can go for formal, you know what I mean? Like, again, it's just an online forum. Of course, there's good communities on it along with bad ones, as Hobo X. So it's an online forum. So, forums that already exist. Essentially what Reddit is, again, people who are nasty people seem to have congregated to one place, right? You could go to Reddit and be nasty about Darkside Phil, right? But what's the point? You can be nasty about Darkside Phil anywhere. And there's plenty of other places to do it, right? So anyway, the point I'm making is, if it's a toxic cesspool, why even use it? Michael, why would you even why would the game developers, I mean this too, why would you even for a moment entertain anything on Reddit? Why? Why would you for a moment waste your time on Reddit? Really? Like, why would you even, that's like the niche community of fucking, really whiny, just not satisfiable people. That's where they congregate, is Reddit. The toxic cesspool of the internet. Why the fuck would you go there? Ever. For anything. You can go other places that are better. Why go to this shit? It's like saying, okay, there's two streets down this way, there's a Burger King. And every time I go to that Burger King and I order the Whopper, it's amazing. It's juicy. It's flavorful. Everything is great. all the condiments are correct, the veggies are crisp and good and full of flavor, and the price is great and everything's good. Or I can go 2 blocks this way and there's a Burger King that's shitty as fuck. When you order anything from there, your order's always fucked up. Your burger is overcooked and dry as shit. All the veggies are soggy and disgusting and slimy and old. And by the way, they charge you the wrong price too, right? So it's like, you could already go over here to get quality, but you actively choose to go here, and basically you're kind of slumming it because you want to be in the toxic part of the internet, right? That's Reddit. So why the fuck would you go there? You know what I'm saying? There's never been a single use for Reddit for me, ever. I would never go to Reddit and do an AMA thread and answer questions. Fuck you! I have my own place right here. What the fuck would I go to Reddit for? Reddit can literally burn right now. The entire site could be vaporized and nothing of value was lost. So, don't use it. If you're a fucking game developer, never touch Reddit. Fuck them. Let them toxically burn each other into the ground and leave them alone. Then you won't have to deal with their fucking stupid kitty shit, their doxing, all their shit. Fuck them. Let them go off and do their dumb toxic shit on the internet, and you just do your own thing, man. I can't believe game developers are being threatened and doxed on Reddit. What the fuck? Why is anyone even there? Right? All right. Anyway, one final story. The free for PS Plus games this month, Godfall is included. Now, isn't it funny? Because last year, at the release of the PlayStation 5, Godfall was a launch title. And literally, everyone agreed it was the worst game for PS5. Everyone said it was an uninspired, grindy mess of a game that didn't feel like a full game. Certainly wasn't worth $70, and it was the worst release title for PS5 at the time. And a lot of us were saying at the time, this is eventually going to turn into a free for PS Plus game. Like, you get that vibe from the game. This is definitely going to be a free game. There's no reason to buy it. So here we are a year later, okay? It took a year. And guess what just happened, okay? Guess what just happened? They announced Godfall will be free for PS Plus this month. We all kind of knew it was inevitably going to happen, right? Or did it? Because, ladies and gentlemen, I looked into it last night. And wait till you hear this one. Ladies and gentlemen, Godfall free for PS Plus is false. It's a bait and switch tactic to get people to buy Godfall. Are you ready for this? After a year of the game being critically panned and everyone saying it's not worth $1 of your money, don't play it. The game developers are so desperate to try to recoup some of their development cost that they're actually scamming you. Okay? If you get Godfall on PlayStation Plus this month, you're not getting Godfall. You're getting a special edition of the game that features post-game content, okay? What does that mean? It means when you get this, okay, you immediately get boosted to level 50. You never played the game, but you boosted to level 50. You're given 3 modes that you can play in the game. One of them is a story-based campaign that's post-game content that's basically supposed to be add-on continuing from the main story of the game. All right? There's a challenge mode where you do like a bunch of challenge towers or combat or something like that. It's grindy. All right? And there's another mode too, and I couldn't even understand what they were trying to say the third mode was. It confused me. But anyway, you're not getting Godfall. You're getting an add-on to Godfall for free. If you actually want to play Godfall, you have to buy it. And how much are they charging? $30. Yes, if you get Godfall free for PS Plus, you have to spend $30 to actually unlock Godfall and play it. You don't get any of the base story of the game or nothing. You just get free post-game content that would literally make no sense if you didn't play the core game. Now, you might say, well, that's not so bad, right? That's not so bad at all because they're giving it away for free. What's the deal? What's the big deal? Well, you could argue, oh, it's a free trial of the game, right? No, it's not. This would be like, how can I explain it? I'm trying to think what the best way to explain it is because it really is, there's no real way to explain it and put it in perspective. I could make a comparison what's going to be a bad one. Like, for example, imagine if they were saying they're giving Street Fighter 2 away. Okay? We're giving away Street Fighter 2 for free on PS Plus. But then when it comes out, it's not the original cast of 8 characters, and it's not the bosses. You only get to play as the 4 new challenger characters. That's it. And you only get to play like a limited portion of the game. If you want to unlock all of the previous content leading up to the new challenger characters, you have to pay $30. Okay? So what they're doing is it's a bait and switch. You're getting, Godfall's free on PlayStation Plus. You download it, you go to play it. What the fuck? 90% of the content is locked. I thought this was free on PS Plus, right? So if you play it and you're, I kind of like it, but now I got to spend money to play it, then it's not free. You lied. It's an actual scam. They're trying to make money. They're trying to, man, if we can fool 300 people into buying this game for $30, we've made some profit. It's like, fuck the fuck, man. Unbelievable. So anyway, just be aware. Godfall is a stinky turd. Everyone agreed on that last year. It was a piece of garbage. You shouldn't play it anyway. It's trash. And now if you're going to get it free for PS Plus, you're not getting the game. You're getting an end game campaign that will make no sense because you didn't play the main game. You're auto-boosted to level 50, which makes no sense because you didn't play the base game, so you don't understand how to play it at level 50 anyway. It's literally a waste of your time. So don't. Just skip it. Just like you skipped the game last year, skip it on PS Plus too. Just keep skipping it and telling them it's not worth your time. Make better games because this game's a piece of dog shit. Okay. It is time for shout-outs. On the YouTube side of things, Nathan Smith has re-upped his membership for 4 months. He says, do you know what new games you're going to be playing this month? As I've already explained, Nathan, it's hard to tell because I don't know what's going to happen with the games that I'm currently playing now and how long it's going to take to get through them. What I can tell you is this. I'm absolutely playing the campaign of Halo Infinite starting this Thursday. After that, I literally don't know. It could be so many different things that we do this month, depending on what you guys want. But I don't really know what we're going to do yet. It's all up in the air. Okay? Okay. Now, that's it. There's no super chats. There's no other memberships. Let's get to tips. We start off today with Anso Kamaru, who tipped me $1.50 and says, I beat the final boss of Shin Megami Tensei 5 last night. I had to pause my game during the final cutscene to cook dinner, clean up afterwards, and do some urgent errands. Now I have to work all morning. I still haven't finished watching it. Being an adult gamer is hard. Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you're playing these games that are so insanely long. I remember Metal Gear Solid 4. Metal Gear Solid 4. I played, this was before I was a YouTuber, okay? And this is when I was getting into games, console games. And I was like, I'm going to play a Metal Gear game. I've never played a Metal Gear Solid game before. I'll play Metal Gear Solid 4. And I was like, I remember this one night, I'm not kidding you. This one night, I resumed from where I'd left off. I had made a save or whatever. And I remember, like, I was driving. There's a sequence where you're on a motorcycle or something, and you're driving through a city, and there's, like, some gameplay. And I had a drink. I was like, I'm going to play my gameplay for tonight. And I had a drink next to me, rum and Coke. That's what I used to drink, like, 13 years ago, back when I was pretty much a heavy drinker, alcoholic, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I drank way too much back then. So I had this next to me, and I'm like, all right. Time for some Metal Gear Solid 4. I pick up the controller. I do the driving sequence on the bike. The game proceeded to do 2.5 hours of cutscenes. I was like, I guess I'm watching a movie now. So I just put my controller down. My controller turned off. I was like, okay. So I lean back. I start drinking. I'm like, damn. I got my phone. I'm looking on the internet. I'm watching a video. I guess I'm not playing any games tonight. You know, I literally didn't play any gameplay. It was like 2 minutes of gameplay and then a 2.5 hour cutscene. Like, okay. But that was, that's how some games are. You're playing a crazy long game with crazy long cutscenes. And you're like, well, I have real life now. I have things I have to go do. I can't sit here and watch a 14, 15 hour cutscene now. I have to, I have to burp my baby. I have to take the dog out for a walk. I have to, pay the mortgage. I have to do these things. I can't be fucking here for 7 hours. So I hear you. Game Trekkers tipped me $10. Thank you, Game Trekker. Biggest tip of the day, by the way. He says, I was 100% serious about adding the legendary awful Burger King sandwich, the sludgewich, if you will, to your channel emojis after the holidays. The chat was hugely in agreement with me. Last time I suggested this. If you don't believe me, take a look this time. Okay. Well, I guess we'll see. Excuse me. I guess we'll see what happens. We absolutely will have an open emote slot after I get rid of the Santa emoji. Once these decorations go down behind me and everything in January. Typically what I do is I leave these up till I get around to my Game of the Year awards, which I try to do in the first week of January. And I think this year I probably should get to it around then. So probably we'll do the Game of the Year awards then, and then take this stuff down and go back to normal stuff. Remember, I had some nice stuff behind me. I had the boxes for the consoles. I had my YouTube play button, some nice decorations, Mega Man and Ryu shooting projectiles at each other and stuff. We'll probably go back to that, after the holiday festivities are over. But yeah, we will be getting rid of, obviously, the Santa emoji, and we'll need a replacement. So maybe we will do the Sludge Witch, or maybe not. Maybe we'll think about something better. Okay? Thank you for the tip. Let's see. Harmless Tiger tipped me $10. Thank you, Harmless Tiger, for the $10 tip. I appreciate that. Awesome. Ramos tipped me $1.50, and he says, Phil, will you consider playing Metroid Prime 2 and 3 in anticipation for Prime 4? Considering the success of Dread on your streams, it'd be fun to see. And by the way, Adam in Dread is the same person as Adam in Other M, the guy that bossed you around. Oh, yeah? Other M I really can't remember. Seriously, I remember liking the game. A lot of people hated on that game. I don't know why. Maybe because it was stylistic, because it was made by, wasn't it Team Ninja or whatever? So it held a different vibe than other Metroid games. I personally liked it. A lot of people shat all over it. But I don't remember. I don't remember the plot of that. So, but thank you for thank you for that. Now, Metroid Prime 2 and 3. It's funny because people over the years always seem to ask, will I play Metroid Prime 2? Whenever there's a viewer's choice event, people seem to nominate Metroid Prime 2. For some odd reason, it never wins. Never. It never wins. It might get close, and it never wins. So I've never played it. They are supposedly developing Metroid Prime 4, but no one really knows what happened because it was supposed to get updates and stuff, and it never did. And people are wondering, is the game in development hell or whatever? I think at one point there was a rumor the whole game got rebooted or something like that. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I would consider it. I absolutely would consider it. I don't know if I would time it or wait for Metroid Prime 4, but, the thing is, when I played Metroid Prime, I liked it. I wasn't good at it, by the way. I sucked. Remember, I played it on the Wii, and I did poorly at it. I mean, admittedly, I was not good. I sucked ass, but it was a fun play. People liked to see me flub it and kind of fail and rage. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. It's a consideration for sure. Anzo Kamaru took me $1.50. Says Reddit is not just a place for trolls and degenerates. You can learn valuable info and tons of topics. It's no better or worse than YouTube or any other website ever made. I've learned so much about bodybuilding, tech, and travel by using it effectively. Yikes! I can't read that. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We found one person on the internet who likes Reddit and thinks that it's useful. We found the one. Congrats. I guess Anso Kamara are. Obviously, I'm joking, right? You know that when I say these things, I'm being over the top. But the point I'm making is, if it seems that there's a consensus that there's a high level of toxicity or negativity associated with something, and you can find the same productive and useful information from that place in many other places that don't have that level of toxicity associated with it, at one point, do you burn the house down? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this house is amazing. It's got the gorgeous view. It's really comfortable to live in. It's got central air, which we love. The taxes are very low on it. It's great. Oh, by the way, it's haunted. You go in there and the ghosts are constantly fucking with you and trying to kill you. Burn the house down. I mean, there's a lot of positives, but fuck, dude, there's ghosts in there. What are you doing? At what point do you just give up? You throw the towel, all right, enough. Why am I bothering with this? That's the point I'm trying to make here is when the majority of people who I've ever interacted with say, yeah, Reddit's a pretty bad, toxic place. Yeah, there's information there that can be useful, but my God, when those people go off, it's insane the toxicity and nastiness that comes out of that place. So when do you say, fuck this and burn it down and say, enough of this? Move on, do something more productive with your life than stay there, right? Okay. An anonymous $2 tipper says, would you ever play Smash Brothers Online again? The current one? No. If there was a new Smash Brothers, which I don't think ever is going to be because the head guy, what's his name? What was his name? Matsurai or whatever? You know, he got harassed so much online about the fucking game. I mean, can you talk about, you want to talk about a messed up community. That Smash community, I can't believe that guy. That guy got so fucking harassed online. Like, no lie. Imagine that you're the lead producer of Smash Brothers and you have social media accounts, okay? So today you decide, I want to post up on my Instagram a picture of my cat. Not Matsurai, Sakurai. Wasn't it Sakurai? I don't know why I call him Matsurai. Sakurai was his name, right? I think so. Or is his name. So I'm going to post up a picture of my cat on my Instagram. Oh my God. That means Cat Mario is coming to fucking Smash Brothers. And then, oh, get the hype going. Cat Mario, son, this is a secret message from Sakurai. It's coming. And he's like, dude, I couldn't even have a life. Everything I did, I would go to fucking McDonald's and I would order chicken nuggets. And people would say that the chicken from Zelda is going to be the next character in Smash Brothers. Like, he couldn't escape it. Everywhere he went was smash, 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 smash. Like, dude, I like the game franchise. It's what I do for a living. But can you, like, chill? The guy, like, literally was harassed constantly online. So, that being said, you know, I could totally understand why the guy feels the way he does. If they interview him now and he's like, dude, I want nothing. I'm not doing no more Smash. He even said, if Nintendo wants to do it without me, they can do it. They can move on with the franchise and they can continue to make the games if they want, but I can't do that shit no more. And I cannot blame that guy once. Now, that guy seems like one of the most genuine, passionate game developers ever on the planet. He seems like he was totally into his product, and that was a case where the community just destroyed and exhausted that man. They broke him down over the years to the point where he wants nothing to do with the product anymore. Okay? So anyway, would I ever go back to play that game online? No. I'm done with that Smash. But if there was a new one, would I consider checking it out? Yes. All right. One final contribution. Nathan Smith actually did a super chat. And he says, sorry, I just got here. No, don't worry, dude. I wasn't talking directly to you at all when I said that there was no contributions on the YouTube side at all. I appreciate you re-upping your membership and also the super chat. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it for the pre-stream podcast. We covered a ton of shit today, right? Thank you for watching. Thank you for being patient. I hope you enjoyed the show. And I shall return shortly with gameplay of Metroid Dread. Thank you for watching, everyone. Until tomorrow.